Hi, my name is Imran Haque, and welcome to another episode of The Voice of a Leader, the series where I interview high-achieving leaders and try and find out how they got to where they are. Let's get started. We live in a big world, and in this big world we have thousands and thousands of businesses. There are many different types of businesses, and there are firms out there that provide services tailored to a particular size of a business. This week, I caught up with Sneza Pelusi, who's a managing partner of Deloitte Private. Sneza, thank you for coming on The Voice of a Leader.
Thank you for having me.
No problem. So you came to Australia, you were born in the Republic of Yugoslavia, and you came here when you were only 2 years old. And you developed a strong passion for the game of football. So you apparently recently you changed supporting from Carlton to Hawthorn. Now, is that because they kept losing Carlton?
Well, a number of things. I'm not sure why I started enjoying AFL football. I was, raised in a family that didn't actually watch it, but for some reason I absorbed it. Carlton for 20 years.
20, wow.
And then in a household where everyone else supported Hawthorn, so I made the switch.
Nothing to do with them losing all the time?
No, I actually think Lance Franklin was a big factor why I swapped.
Fair enough.
So there you go. Yeah.
Excellent.
Yeah.
So you started working in Deloitte in Perth in 1991.
Yep.
So Deloitte being a large global firm, and as part of your career you worked in Jakarta office and you worked in industry as well, both for 1 year terms.
Yeah.
Can you tell me a little bit about those experiences?
Sure. Look, I think part of it was my attitude of saying yes more than I would say no to things. So the secondment to Jakarta was for a year, and it was actually the first time that we'd engaged in a secondment program with Jakarta. So I did go there for a period of time. And then I came to Melbourne in 1995 to work in our corporate finance division, a different division.
Sure.
Again, taking opportunity to do something different comfort zone, different set of skills. And then took an opportunity to work in industry for a while. But industry was not my thing.
Sure.
I enjoyed the professional service environment, having sort of teams around me. And I still today enjoy having good, strong teams around me. That's part of why I love doing what I do.
Yep. So currently you work in Deloitte Private, and so that's a section that's tailored towards the private markets.
Yeah.
What's some of the main reasons you decided to work in this area?
Sure. Well, throughout my career, I have predominantly spent time working with medium-sized businesses, either from a mid-cap perspective, what we call internally ASX 200 to 600, or larger private enterprises. I do feel an affinity for them, the close decision making, your ability to not so much have an influence, but be in the bowels of the organisation, whether it's with the C-suite or as you're presenting to the various boards. So throughout my career at various stages, I have worked in either the Deloitte Private service line or prior to that, the prior service line Growth Solutions, which was again focused on that part of the market segment. So when I was asked to lead Deloitte Private earlier this year, it did feel like a natural move for me because I had played in that part of the market as a professional for such a long period of time.
Excellent. So you co-led, I think, the Deloitte leadership program that was aimed at talented partners under the age of 40. What actually happened to partners who are over 40? Do they get any training or anything?
That's interesting. So under our previous CEO, we had a program called the Under 40s leadership program for our partners, really capturing people. The intention was to capture people either just when they had made partner or a few years in, and exposing them to some of the leadership development training, something that our previous CEO was very passionate about and continues today under the current structure. And that is really investing in the leadership and development skills of our partners, of the view that the way we lead people is one of the unique differences we have in our professional services environment. So I did have a co-lead, Ben Shields, who's actually also in my Deloitte Private team now.
Very good.
And part of our job was to bring the thoughtware that existed in the firm, but also thoughtware internationally to those partners under 40 who were selected to be part of that program. Now, many of them, after they turned 40, actually went on to other leadership development programs or actually took on other leadership positions within the firm.
Sure.
So it was one of the great things that I've actually been involved in my time at Deloitte.
How long does so if you're under 40 and you get selected into the program, how long do you stay with the program? Until you're above 40? Or is it like a certain, like 2-3 years?
It used to depend. You might graduate out of there once you turn 40, or you might take on a different leadership role which propelled you into another program in any event. So the intention was to capture people at a point in time, early on in their partner career, to talk about whether it's people leadership, client leadership, industry leadership. So it was multifaceted in
Very
that
good.
regard. Yeah.
So as you mentioned, I think this year you got promoted to managing partner at Deloitte Private, so congratulations.
Thank you.
For those who are very keen to follow in your footsteps, what's 2 or 3 pieces of advice you'd give them?
Look, I think a couple of things. I mentioned my love of working in teams earlier, and one of the things I've always been passionate about is surrounding myself with good people. I enjoy working with people of all ages and the unique skills that they bring, having diversity of talent around me.
Good.
And that's just not gender, diversity of thought, diversity of skills, diversity of experience. So when I'm talking to my partners now, I always ask them what team do they have around them, who's helping them succeed, and is there an environment where people feel that they're mutually invested in what we're trying to achieve. So the power of teams is important.
Teamwork, yep.
The power of being passionate about what you do. So, and being present in the here and now about being passionate about what you do. So rather than always thinking, 5 years out, 10 years out, being present in the moment and saying, this is what I'm leading right now and this is what I'm going to be really good at. So, doing what you are asked to do now in the moment really well actually opens up doors of opportunity for you, rather than always thinking ahead and what's coming down the path. And I think many people, especially early in their career, can get so focused on what's coming down the path, they actually neglect to do what they're actually tasked and focused on right there at the moment. I think that's an important part of it as well. And then lastly, it is, from an organisational sense, looking up and looking around, understanding where you fit in the organisation, what's important to the organisation, and being engaged and involved. Sometimes it can be really easy to, stay in your little world and just focus on, just your little world without really looking up and around and seeing what else is going on.
Very true.
Whatever organisation you're in, whatever you're part of, making sure that you look up, you look around, and you actually are engaged with others and learning from others in terms of what they're experiencing and what other opportunities are out there.
Very good. The last question I had was this, very interesting. So apparently one way of you relaxing is going to the MCG.
I love the MCG.
So do you like the rambunctious crowd and all that noise? Does that help you relax?
I actually don't like the big crowds, because if it's a big crowd, it normally means it's a big game, which normally means I'm nervous. So I actually prefer, as a Hawthorn supporter, I like to go to a Hawthorn Gold Coast game where there's hardly anyone there.
Fair
and I can sit in the stands and it's quiet and I can watch my team. And it's actually quite relaxing. It's a little bit of meditation at the MCG.
Actually, it must have been heartbreaking when Franklin left.
Look, it was, but in our family, we never have a bad word to say about Lance, so he will always be a Hawthorn player.
No chance going back to Carlton since he's gone, no?
No, none at all.
Excellent. Look, Sneza, thank you for taking your time.
Thank you.
And giving me a brief background about your personal life and your work life. Thanks again.
Thank you.
Thank you for watching another episode of The Voice of a Leader. As mentioned by Sneza, some of the things to look out for if you're keen to work in Deloitte Private or just become a senior in general is 1, work within a close-knit team. There are many situations where you may not be able to solve the problem yourself, but if you have the assistance of others, you can make the process more efficient. And secondly, don't just focus on the future, also focus on the present. If you're always constantly looking forward, you may miss something at the current stage. So it's good to look forward and present. Again, thank you again for watching another episode. Remember, if you or someone you know is a high-achieving leader and would like to have an interview with me, please visit my website, answer the 3 questions, and send an email to thevoiceofaleader@gmail.com. Take care and see you next time.